Okay. These dang crickets in the summer in the basement. They just keep going. Anyways, if you're having trouble falling asleep, maybe this will help. I mean, it's pretty dry material right now that I'm gonna go over. And just so people know, my microphone is well, my voice won't. Can't even say it right. My voice won't go out as much as before. I changed the sound card from one computer to another. The only problem with this sound card is it only has mono out as far as microphone line out stuff or line in. So, it's not going to be that super great stereo quality, but I don't think anybody cares about that. Anyways, it's good enough for me. So, just kind of want to go over some VAERS data analysis, some things that I don't really see a lot from anyone. Anyways, you can get the VAERS data at vaers.hhs.gov, and they have all the data you can get. That's only 341.78 megabytes. And also, they seem to update the 2021, and this one is as the last processed data of end of July of 2021. So there's still a lot of months of data to go. It'll be interesting to see when they update this data and what the results will be. So first thing that I want to go over is we'll look at the editor. These are just all my queries, and all I'm doing is just looking at the counts. I figured it out. It's pretty easy to get the results on a different page, but at least it's in a bigger font so people can actually see the results. So a lot of these, if you actually look at the what I have on the little screenshot thing when you're going into watch this video. Let's see. This is what I have. These results actually come from my database queries, and I just do a little bit of adding and subtracting. And we'll look into it a little bit more in detail. Yeah, this is going to be kind of boring for a lot of people just who aren't really into database analysis stuff. But it's just fun and can burn some time before I start feeling sleepy and want to go to bed. Okay. So, just simple query of total reported cases in 2021. And I'm not even joining any tables here. I'm just getting it all from VAERS data. But I'm just doing a where clause where it's going to be after December 31st, 2020. So you can easily see there's 520,858 total reported cases in 2021. What I should do, though, is actually get total reported cases in 2020, right? That sounds like a good idea. So let me just copy that and change that. And this is just what we're going to see observing. Actually, I'm gonna keep that here, and I'm just gonna update that above just so we have it in order. And basically what I have to do is add another where clause where it's going to be before 2021 and save it. Oops. And let's go ahead and run it again. But that doesn't even make any sense. So that's, oh, duh. What did I do wrong? Where it's where it's before. No, it should be after. I think I had it right. I just did something wrong. Oh wait, do I? No, I've got 2019 data in there. 2021. Where the date is. Yeah, that does make sense. Where it is lower is before then. I was doing it right. That's after. Ah! I was doing like one day. Okay, here we go. That should do it. Hi, Kathy B. No one, she says, no one wears masks where I live, but I do. I even have a road rage experience for wearing a mask to my doctor's appointment. Well, Kathy, whatever, however you feel and think you want to do is fine by me, if you want to wear a mask or not. So here we get to see something interesting. In all of 2020, there's only 54,421 reported cases of adverse events, whereas in 2021, it's almost 10 times as much, 520,858. So that's quite a difference. We're seeing. It's remember, this is end of July, so there's still August, September, October, November, and December. 5 months. So 5 more months. This is only 7 months compared to 12 months in 2020. So, and we've already got 10 times the amount of adverse cases. But there's probably a lot more people who are actually taking vaccinations now than before. So that's probably another reason. Now, total reported deaths in 2020, that accounts for everything, right? I'm not doing all I'm doing is, where they died is a yes. That's entered into the data, into the spreadsheets, the data, and where the received date is basically after 2020. So that's where we're getting the total reported deaths. Oh wait, that doesn't make sense. Oh, here it is. Yeah, so this is what I'm talking about. Sorry. So this doesn't have anything except for between date. It's kind of like how it here. So it's 2020, and this is just total deaths. That's all it is. Just looking at deaths, and the results we get is 365. And then we get into 2020, where I'm just basically saying, hey, okay, so what is that? But instead, in after 2020. So we get 12,233. And you're probably going, whoa, that 12,233 seems a lot less than 12,257. So where am I getting the extra data? Or the deaths? So we have to go back down to, and I think what might be helpful is if I actually show some of the details of the reports. Okay, and so these might be a little bit different. I'm gonna go ahead and update this as well, just so I've got the detailed report. Oh, wait a second. Summary report, that's what I want. Okay, summary report. That's how I want to see it. We'll go with 2020 here. And this is going to have, again, the extra date. That's going to be let's greater than 2019, right? And there's the 21. So if we're just going to look at this, it should match up with 365 rows. You can see it down there, but if you want to actually see it, here's the returns, right? So that matches up with 365 reported deaths. So what I usually do is I look at this and verify by just looking at the detailed portion of the report. sometimes I just stay here and do everything on here. But I think what I should do is probably get rid of all the counts here, just so it's easier just to match up. So I'll probably do that. I'll do a little bit of cleanup right now. Yeah, it's I know it's kind of a bore to see someone cleaning up their queries, but it just makes it easier to keep track of all these things in case I'm missing something that I want to look at. Okay. So how am I getting the extra deaths, and how are you actually seeing it in 2021? Well, if we look at here the results that I did before, I'm just looking at whether they died and where the RECV date, that's like received vaccine date. So these are all the dates where the people have received their vaccines. That's what I'm guessing. I didn't quite look at the data to see if there's well, actually I could. I can easily see it by looking at the trait tables. Date died, I guess. That's a good one. I should add that in. I won't do it now. I just want to go over some of the data that I've already gathered, but I'm probably just gonna have to add in all these because I'm using comma delimited to insert the bulk insert. I have to rearrange some of the columns that you'll actually see in the spreadsheet. Okay, so you've got this idea, but now we're going to start going to these joined queries just so you can see exactly how I'm getting some of these extra counts of deaths. And the easiest way to do that is looking at these total reports with unknown vaccines in 2021. This is like the one I was like, that's funny. How are they? Why are people getting vaccines, or why are people giving vaccines where they don't know what the vaccine is? That seems kind of dumb. Anyways, so here's the summary report. You can just think of it as a detailed report. So we'll go ahead and run that. So if we look at the query real quick. So it's just joining a table into the VAERS vax table with the VAERS data table. I'm not using the VAERS ID as a primary key just because there's duplicate primary keys. I'm sorry, not duplicate primary keys, duplicate VAERS IDs, because if you actually look at some of the data that's do I have anything that's not a distinct yeah, here, no, wait, I don't. Let's say if I don't do a distinct here, right, it's gonna have more than 200. It's 258 rows, right? You can see here that's 258 rows. And what we do is we look at here. It's like, hey, this has the same VAERS ID, and everything else looks exactly the same. So why is it returning it twice? This one I don't know. Usually there's something slightly different, and that's why it returns it. But anyways, that's why we have the distinct clause in there. There you go. So with this, when we go ahead and rerun it, and we'll see that it's just 200. We don't see duplicate VAERS IDs. So you don't want duplicates of these if you're going to have a primary key. That's just technical stuff that I don't know why I even say it. Well, I'd say 99% of the people who are watching this probably have no idea what I'm talking about. Anyways, that's probably why there's never any of these data analysis that occurs. But yeah, so one of the important things that we really want to look at is, why is there such dramatic? Well, we can probably determine by if this is accurate data returns, then heck, there's there's a lot of deaths that occurred. I mean, there's only 284 reported deaths from the VAERS system in 2020 alone. And right now, until after 7 months, not the whole 12 months of 2021, and 2020 is included because I think they have some deaths from December 14th. So we'll look at that real quick. Okay, so we're gonna look at the deaths from 2000. I just want to get rid of that. 2020. That's COVID, from COVID. All right, this one. Total deaths from COVID in 2020. So total reported summary of reported deaths. Hey, that's weird. Why don't I have that? Did I delete that on accident? Yeah. So, all right, let's look at. We're gonna have to copy and paste that. It's just a little simpler to do that. And this will be. I have to do a date as well. So this is gonna be before. And that should do it. Alright, so there's 19 total deaths, and we could tell that from just the count that there's 19. So this is in 2020, and what was the date? The earliest date was 12/23, so about a week before the end of the year. That's where some of these deaths occurred. And what's great is, I think someone was requesting that, looking at the date received of the vaccine. And I don't know if that's the first date, because they, remember the COVID-19 vaccines, you need to take the first vaccine. They don't have a first vaccine date or second vaccine date that you can actually look up. So you have to assume that this is maybe the received date of the first vaccine, not the second shot. But I could be wrong. It could be the completion of the vaccine shots. So having that ambiguity in data is kind of sucks. But there's nothing we can do about that. It's just we can't really analyze the time between deaths. Vaccine total shot, the first shot taken and the second shot taken before the date died. Okay. So we go from here. So total deaths likely from COVID vaccine in 2020. So why am I getting 62 from there? And if I look at that, let's see, likely deaths. All right, I'm looking at the date. That's before. Oh shoot! You know what? Some of these I didn't actually do an and. So I'm actually getting data from all the way before, from the so there's an import that I do. So actually, I'm gonna move these in the back. There's an import that I do where it's from outside the U.S., non-domestic VAERS data, right? And versus symptoms and VAERS facts. You can see how I did this in the previous video, maybe 2 or 3 videos back. But anyways, this is probably containing data from a long time ago, and I didn't think about that because I only imported data as far as U.S. data just in 2020 and 2021. So see, that's all I did is 2020 and 2021. I separated all this just so it's easy for people to look at, see what I'm doing. All right, so the problem here is this is going to have to be greater than 2019. 1931. Wait. 12. And this is less than 2020. Good. So this gives us 2020. And I think I need to fix the other one too. That's likely. Wait, that's the detailed. Okay, wait, let's run this one again. Alright, 62. Sorry. Let's do the whole thing. Alright, 62. Hey, that didn't change. So maybe there weren't anything before 2020 in the non-domestic. Anyways, or maybe I just did that here and I didn't even see what I'm talking about. Things are just a little crazy with looking at all this stuff. Okay, so that looks fine. And I need one that's likely in 2020. Okay, so all I'm doing is I'm doing this, and rather than, and I'm looking at all the cases that doesn't have COVID-19 in the vax type, and I am also adding in a search term within the symptom text. So that will give us hopefully 62 results. And yep, 62 results. So we can actually look at the data here and see. Oh, let's see. What so here's the thing. When you're looking through these, you got to do different vax types. This is the flu A3, flu X, PNC 13 unknown, PNC 13 YF, flu 4. There's really not much, but when they have symptom text, which just says COVID-19. This is spontaneous death received. Why are they putting COVID-19 here? And these are received dates of like end of July, as early as end of July. I don't know if that's when like the these are just those experimentals. But this is all in France. They don't seem to have much in the U.S. There's one MI, which is Michigan, and one NV. So there's only two of these in the U.S. Everything else is like France. And that's another thing. Is I think a lot of the non-domestic, which is outside the U.S., is all from France. I don't really see any other things from like other different countries. So I mean, we're basically just getting information from two countries here. So all of this data is just data from two countries. And, there's so many different countries that are taking the vaccines, and we don't get that information in the VAERS data. At least they don't come and report it. So, and here, 56, whoever it was that wrote it said, I can't give details due to COVID policy. No visitors allowed at, and if we go all the way to read it, it'd be a lot easier to export all of this, but it's just easier to see it, go over it with the queries that I have. Anyways. No visitors allowed at the time of incidents. Okay, so this must have been someone who wanted to visit. Anyways, the patient called home from hospital on the morning of the 9th. Upon talking with him, he said, I think they have pumped 200 years of medical medicine into me. By the evening, the hospital called. He was on life machine support. Oh, that sucks. So this individual from Nevada was 83 years old, and this person who reported it had no idea. But this is due to COVID policy, so I would have to add another one or subtract from the deaths of 2020 because, but who knows? What were they pumping him with 200 years worth of medicine, Here's another one. He developed COVID-19 symptoms the day after vaccination, tested positive, and subsequently passed away. This is Michigan, 84 years old. Wait, is there more? No, it's not. And take the flu forward vax type. Now I don't know why they would report it as flu. So that's why I call them likely, right? Total reports likely, deaths likely from COVID-19 vaccine in 2020. I'm just counting that in, but of course you're not going to see it. Oh yeah, you may see it right there. So same thing with the deaths likely COVID-19 vaccine 2021. The only difference is, there's one that I did with that was unknown because, again, some weird reasons they'll have like the vax type is unknown. They don't know what type of vaccine that they took. Doctors, I don't know if they ever filled that in or what. That's the problem with the VAERS, with the VAERS data. Is I've never reported one. I don't know if it's just that relative that does it. Like, how do they know all their history? Like, if you actually look in, say, VAERS symptoms, right? Maybe they know all the symptoms, but whoever's not a doctor, how do they know a symptom is alanine aminotransferase, right? So I doubt that it's just like a relative or someone who knows the patient filling in a lot of these things. It's probably like probably a doctor or someone from the hospital probably enters these in as well. So I don't know who enters what and all that jazz. So there's a little bit of ambiguity again in looking at the data. All right, so it's getting dry, and let's see, 27 minutes. Let's do 2 more minutes. If you look at the queries I'm doing, it's pretty much reused, pretty simple stuff, right? Let's look at the results again. Now, let's look at the big stuff, right? Total report deaths from COVID-19 vaccine in 2021, 2020. We'll look at that because that's going to get the majority of the deaths that's being reported. So it's just a simple join as before from the VAERS data with the VAERS vax, and based on the VAERS ID, we're making distinct, so we're not getting duplicates. And a lot of those duplicates will occur because they'll probably list out, like for that one person, which is they're using the VAERS ID, is they'll have like multiple vaccines that they had, which is vax types. So they have COVID-19, they'll have like the flu 3, flu 4, whatever. They're going to have a whole bunch, so you're going to get a lot of returns. But since we just don't want to get a lot of returns, we just want to know about just one, that's why it's distinct. The vax type is COVID-19. That specifically they knew it was the COVID-19 vaccination shot, and we're just doing an order by. So we'll go ahead and take a look here, and 12,067 returns. So that's what we have here. Now, sometimes what I'm looking at is I'm looking at the symptom text, and what is it that am I really having am I having any duplicates? It shouldn't, because the query won't allow that. But you've got, let's move this. You've got like some of these symptoms, it's like they're just doing kind of in bulk. It's like they've got the exact, almost the exact type of symptom text they must have you know, done the data entry pretty quick. But this one is kind of good. It has some details of what they actually took. The lot number, died while in the hospital, the age. Obviously, this is probably from the same hospital or doctor because it's so close, and the state is the same. So, um, anyways, it's just kind of looking through all the data that's returned, just seeing if there's any irregularities. A lot of where is it? I'm trying to look at report date. Like here, what I'm wondering is, all right, you got a report date that's like at the end of the year, and this occurred at the beginning of the year. Like, why did it take the? Oh wait, no man, it's gonna be like 7 days. It first reported in 12/20/2020. The vaccination date was 2021 January 5th. It makes no sense. What's the report date? Yeah. Anyways. This person had fever, respiratory depression, and COVID positive, remdesivir. Oh, remdesivir. That's interesting. I wonder that's the thing is remdesivir is a very bad drug that I think it was Fauci, right? He's directly involved with getting remdesivir utilized as a remedy at the beginning of COVID, and different doctors with different looking at the scientific tests that they did on remdesivir said, yeah, it's you don't want to take remdesivir, but that was like the thing that was like the policy. Hey, give them remdesivir, and ouch, that sucks. I mean, that's just random. I wasn't looking at remdesivir. That's just a whole nother topic I can do. But all right, let's go for some other things. Can I do a sort by here? I won't do the years yet, but yeah. Some of these are short, like fever and malaise. That's all it was. 100-year-old female. They don't really add in very much. Just resident expired. See in here, this is why it's like if this is received vaccine date, that V is staying for vaccine, and it's on January 6th of 2021. But if the resident expired on January 3rd, 2021, it doesn't make sense that they would have it that they like. Why would they give someone a vaccine shot after they died? It doesn't make sense. So I don't know what the received V date is exactly. I mean, whoever set up this VAERS system poorly designed, or at least poorly executed. All right. Yeah, great. Thanks, deceased. You checked that off with a Y. I don't really give you any symptom text. It's called symptom text to put in some symptoms. And what's bad about that is, I guess you could look at the symptoms and just doing a join in again into the VAERS symptoms table and match it by the VAERS ID. I haven't gotten to that yet. I can, I guess, if we want to look into it more detailed. But I don't know what to do with that information. It's like the symptoms that they like. Why won't they put that in the symptom text? Maybe they just want to put it here. But what we could do is to do a search where it's like symptom this or and see if they died from like myocarditis or something, right? So we could do a search for this, do a join, and see, hey, did any of these have a symptom of like myocarditis or something? Okay. This PT was found deceased on their home, and again, this is on 1/5, and received V date is 2 days after. So obviously, this cannot be received a vaccination date. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the. I would guess it's the received VAERS date. This is when the VAERS received this entry. That's my guess. And if that's the case, then do they actually have a received? Oh, here we go. Received vax date. I guess I can do it by there. Ah, good. That's good. So this is where it was entered into the VAERS system. Again, like most of the stuff I'm looking at. I went over 2 more minutes. For almost the first time too. No, I mean, the first video I did on it was like the first. I did everything done that before. Then I just did a live stream. Here I'm just doing the live stream and doing the analysis. But I think that's it for tonight. We'll look into it a little bit more. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna update. I'm probably gonna have to make a VAERS 3, VAERS 4, maybe a VAERS 5 data thing, just because I've got to include all these. But if any of these have commas in them, it's not going to import incorrectly. But anyways, once I do that, it'll be simple to import in all the time. And then after that, I'll just start joining in. I'll probably I can do ones where like when was the death, what was the date of death after the vaccine. But again, I think the problem with vax date is that like where they finished their vaccine or they first took the first vaccine dose. They don't have like a dose date, I don't think. Maybe we'll get more info with the history, the date, I guess, of the entry. That could be good to know. Allergies, just a whole bunch of things. But I always wonder is like who's looking at the data and whatever. Like I don't really think the government cares, but I mean I'm sure some hospitals are, and they're trying to figure out, hey, is there like certain conditions where these people who are getting vaccinated are dying, etc., etc. I mean, they could do it, but I don't really see much of that. It's just all these people who are not really involved in the medical field doing these searches, and it's kind of sad. It's a little weird. But anyways, what'll also be interesting is when I get all the queries built out a little bit more, just so we could see what we want to see from the data. Is see if they get an update. Maybe they'll have some stuff at the end of August, and see how many more deaths are occurring. We could probably also do a breakdown of deaths by date, by month. So how many are dying within like January, February, March, April, May. Date between. We could do it also by date, by age. here's like the young, like we could just do a quick sort here just to see if we want to see sort by age years, right? So let's just do age underscore YRS. Shoot. All right. So if we want to do it by age, some of these are going to be empty until we get to, well, that doesn't help when we see it. And again, what is 0.42? What is 1.08? Yeah, and you know, that's why some of these I don't really put as integer. Are quite, I'm pretty sure it was an integer, but some, yeah, anyways, I don't know why I'm calling about that. Those are 100, 101, 106. There's actually been people who are 13 years. 13-year-old boy. Wait, this is in, this is July. Holy crap. They're vaccinating a lot of the, wow. That's sad. Three days after the vaccine. Moderna. Flu-like symptoms for 2 days, then was found deceased. Had a 13-year-old. That's a sad note to end on. I should not have done this search. 15-year-old male collapsed on soccer field while playing soccer at a local camp. 15, heart failure. 15, unexplained death within 48 hours. This one is 15. Not exact date of the second vaccine. Cardiac arrest. Son died while taking his math class on Zoom. They're waiting for the autopsies because the doctors did not find anything. Alright, I think what's going to be horrible is we might see more of this because they're having children vaccinated, or allowing vaccination for children. Suicide? Yeah, suicide. I mean, looking at this, the symptom text is just horrible. Okay, I don't think I can look up any more of this stuff. Alright, so that's it. This is the data analysis here. We'll probably do another one next month. I'll probably include more information. Maybe do more of a like a section, you know, deaths by month. I don't really like adding graphs and charts like that, just because I don't know. I mean, the numbers itself is good enough. I mean, charts is just a way to display the data in a way you want to present it, where it's like there's a specific narrative for it, right? It's just, but these numbers, this is worrisome. Just looking at this, right? Just the total reported deaths of the previous year. I mean, you're not gonna see this on MSM News, mainstream media. Man, this stuff can get you depressed. I'll say that. Okay. That's it from me tonight. Thank you for joining me on this one. I'll see everyone another night. I think what I may do is if I get more people that join me on my live streams, I could try to have like a Zoom session, have people join in. But that doesn't seem to happen very often anymore for me, so that's why I don't do it. All right. Anyways, thank you and have a good night.